Well, hello, I'm Ronnie White, the two-time USA National Memory Champion, and here's a program on how to remember names and faces. It's an important skill. When you can shake somebody's hand today and 6 weeks later see them and remember their name, it builds relationships, it builds friendships, it'll build your business, and this is how you do it. I've memorized as many as 232 names in about an hour and a half. It was at a convention in Lake Tahoe. I went through the group and met 235 people. Then I went back through the group, repeated their names, and I missed three. I got 232 out of 235. It's the most I've ever done. I've done more than 100 names on many occasions, and you can too. Imagine being able to walk into a conference and shake hands, and at the end of the day, being on a first-name basis with 50 or 100 people. It is a powerful skill. It's a relationship-building skill, and it's a business-building skill. Whether you just want to go around your town and meet people at the grocery store, the gas station, the PTA meetings, and 6 weeks later remember their name, when you see them again, you can do that. Or if you want to get to the point where you can meet 100 names in an hour and a half and remember it, or even 100 names in 30 minutes. I've done that on many occasions. This is how you do it. At Memory Championships, they'll give you 15 minutes, and in 15 minutes, I've done 100 names. So you really can improve your ability to remember names and faces, and this is the process on how to do it. There are 5 steps to remember names, and the first one is focus. Think about it. You shake somebody's hand, and 2 seconds later, you look at them, you're like, I don't remember their name. It is impossible to forget a name in 2 seconds. If 2 seconds into the conversation, you're not remembering somebody's name, it's not because you have a bad memory. It's because you're thinking about what you're going to say, what comes next in the conversation, what they think of you, what are you going to sell them. You got to focus yourself. It's so crucial. Pay attention. So that's the first ingredient. The second thing is a file. You need to select an outstanding facial feature on their face, and this is a place to store the name. The third thing is a picture. Your mind remembers pictures. The reason you meet somebody today and then 6 weeks later you see them at the grocery store, you remember the face, but you don't remember the name because you saw the face. You never saw the name. The mind remembers what it sees. So names into pictures is the language of your memory. Action cements stuff into your memory. You could, if you were in a car accident and it was 10 or 20 years ago, you could probably tell me every detail of that accident. But if I asked you, where'd you drive last week on a Tuesday, could you tell me? You couldn't. The reason is our mind remembers things that have action and emotion. Action and emotion cement stuff into our memory. Passive stuff doesn't go into our memory. Driving to the grocery store and getting a Dr. Pepper and a bag of Doritos is not going to go in your memory because there is no action, there is no cement. So we need to make these pictures with action. And then the last is review. I'm always reviewing and asking myself, who did I meet today? Let me walk you through each one of these 5 steps and show you what I mean. Number 1, focus. When I'm walking towards somebody who I don't know, I'm asking myself the question, what is their name? What is their name? What is their name? What is their name? Now, do not say that out loud, by the way, or you will be seen as a crazy person and definitely not be winning friends and influencing people. But ask yourself the question, what is their name? What is their name as you're walking towards them? That will focus your mind. I guarantee you, if you're saying, what is their name? What is their name? What is their name? And then they say, hi, my name is Steve, you're going to be listening because you've just told your mind to pay attention. This focuses your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. Next, you need to pick out something on their face that stands out, an outstanding facial feature. If outstanding facial features are things like hairs, eyes, lips, nose, mouth, things that really catch your eye. If Jay Leno walked into your office, you would notice his chin. That is his file, his outstanding facial feature. David Letterman's got this gap in his tooth. That is his file, his outstanding facial feature. Ross Perot, the guy who ran for president in the 1990s, in 1992, he used to say in his campaign speeches, I'm all ears. And he was all ears. This is your file for Ross Perot. Grizzly Adams, you could use that beard right there. That would be his file or his outstanding facial feature. And Mike Tyson was nice enough to tattoo his file on his face. That would be what you would use as Mike Tyson's outstanding facial feature. After you have a file, after you focused yourself and you have a file, then you need to have a mental database. And you need to have this data. It's going to take you a month or 2 to create this database if you do it on your own. And the way you do it, every time you meet a person, turn their name into a picture, a mental image. For example, every time you meet a Steve, Ask yourself, what could a picture for that be? For me, it's a stove. Every time I meet a Lisa, it's the Mona Lisa. Every time I meet a Heather, it's a feather. Karen is always a carrot, and Doug is always Dig. Now, if I have created a database in my head of pictures for hundreds of names. Wendy is a bunch of wind. Ron is a man running. Michelle is a missile. Brian is a brain. Joy is joy dishwashing liquid. Harold is hair that's old. I have tons. You could say a name and I could spit out the picture instantly. And that's the point that you're going to have to get to. You need to have pictures for everybody's first names, or most common first names. And the way you do it is for the next 30 days, every time you meet somebody or you see a name, turn their name into a picture. The grocery store, turn the clerk's name into a picture. If you see a name on a billboard, turn it into a picture. If you see movie credits, turn those names into picture. The person who sells you a movie ticket, or your waiter or waitress, turn their name into a picture. I mean everybody. Now here's the thing. After you turn Lisa into a picture, you might want to use the Mona Lisa, you might not. Let's say you do. From now on, you never have to turn that name into a picture. You use the Mona Lisa for every single Lisa. You use a stove for every single Steve. And you use the same pictures over and over and over again. In about a month, if you did this every day for a month, you'd have at least 100 names turned into a picture, maybe 200 or 300, depending on how many names you ran across. It's easy to do. It is easy to do. Here's the bad news, though. It's easy also not to do, and most people won't do it. Turn names into pictures, and that's really crucial. I did a seminar in Seattle once, and a guy emailed me afterwards, and he said my system for remembering names didn't work. I said, no, that's not the problem. The problem is that you didn't take the time to turn names into pictures. So every day I emailed him 5 names. He emailed me back the 5 pictures. We did that for a month. We did 150 names. At the end of that exercise, he went out to the Seattle Chamber of Commerce, met 100 people, and remembered all their names. This right here, this is the crucial step, and you have to do it. You have to have pictures for names. The first month, your name retention will be slow, but after you have pictures for names, you can walk through an audience and remember 100 names in 20 minutes. Next, action. Let's say this man's file is his nose. His name is Aaron. So my picture for Aaron is an arrow. The action is you don't just see an arrow sitting on his nose. You see an arrow, whoom, chopping his nose off. Lots of action and emotion. File, picture, action. Action is crucial. It's just as crucial as picture. If there is no action, you will not remember it. Make it violent. Make that arrow going pew, right through his nose. Next, review. Ask yourself, who did I meet today? What was their file? What was the action? And review. Let's test this out a bit. Let's pretend like this guy's. Well, first of all, focus ourselves. Next, what's his file? It's going to be his goatee. His name is Matt, so I want you to imagine yourself wiping your feet on his goatee. He's a mat, a doormat. This guy right here has got really blue eyes. His name is Brian. We're going to see a brain coming out his eyes. See a brain oozing out his eyes. Brain for Brian. The next one, here's our guy Aaron. Here's his nose. I want you to see that arrow coming through here. Boom! Over here, this woman's name is Sally. And Sally has got, what do we have unique about her? I like her, how these lines on her face right here. These lines, and she's got a dimple right here. In these lines and in these dimple, we see a salad. Salad for Sally. So we're eating a salad. In those lines. The next one, this guy right here, his name is Paul. His file is going to be his eyebrows. Paul is a ball. I want you to see a basketball bouncing up and down in his eyebrows. Basketball. Her file is definitely her eyes, and in her eyes, you are going to see missiles. She's shooting missiles out of her eyes because her name is Michelle. Next, this woman, we are going to use her, let's use her cheeks. Right here on her cheeks, and her name is Karen. So I want you to see her cheeks are made out of carrots. Imagine yourself eating carrots off of her cheeks. This woman, her file is her nostril right here. And going up inside of her nostril, we are going to put Candy, because her name is Candy. She's got candy coming out right here. So let's go back and review. This person's name, Matt, because of the doormat. This person's name, Brian, because of the brain. Aaron the arrow. Sally the salad. Paul the basketball. Michelle the missile. Karen the carrot. And Candy right here. Remembering names is easy. Focus, file, picture, action, and review. You can do it. I can do it. Build relationships. You will be amazed. BrainAthlete.com.